The night was still in the town of Eldermere, with only the occasional hoot of an owl breaking the silence. Ethan, a young archaeologist, sat in his dimly lit study, examining an ancient parchment that had been passed down through generations in his family. It was a map, one that his grandfather had always spoken of in hushed tones. Legends told of the Whispering Caverns, a hidden sanctuary deep within the Blackwood Forest. It was said that the caverns held secrets from an age long past, treasures beyond imagination, and a force so powerful that it could alter the very fabric of time. Ethan traced his fingers over the delicate ink markings. The map revealed a route through treacherous landscapes, cursed rivers, labyrinthine tunnels, and a mountain known as the Vale of Shadows. With his heart racing, he made up his mind. He had to find the Whispering Caverns. Ethan knew he couldn't embark on this journey alone. He sought out his childhood friend, Lara, an expert in ancient scripts and lost civilizations. Then there was Tobias, a rugged explorer with a knack for survival in the most unforgiving terrains. Rounding out the team was Samuel, a historian obsessed with myths and legends, who had spent years collecting accounts of the Whispering Caverns. As they sat around a campfire the night before their departure, Samuel shared a chilling tale. Many who have searched for the caverns never returned. They say the shadows themselves whisper warnings to intruders, and those who ignore them are lost forever. Lara chuckled, but there was a hint of nervousness in her voice. Well, I guess we'll find out if it's all just a story. The flickering firelight reflected in Ethan's determined gaze. Then let's make history. At dawn, the group set off into the dense forest. The air was thick with mist, and the towering trees seemed to whisper as the wind rustled their leaves. Each step took them deeper into the heart of Blackwood Forest, where the sunlight barely penetrated the canopy above. Their first challenge came at the River of Echoes. The map indicated that they needed to cross it, but the water was unlike any they had seen. Black, still, and eerily silent. Tobias tossed a stone into the river, but instead of splashing, it vanished as if swallowed by shadows. Lara studied the map. There should be an ancient stone bridge nearby. We just have to find it. After hours of searching, they stumbled upon crumbling ruins, a bridge, partially submerged and covered in moss. As they stepped onto the stones, a whisper echoed through the air. Turn back, turn back. Samuel shuddered. Did anyone else hear that? Ethan clenched his jaw. Keep moving. The whispers grew louder with each step, but they pressed on, reaching the other side just as a gust of wind howled through the trees, sending a shiver down their spines. The mountain loomed ahead, its peak hidden behind swirling clouds. As they climbed, the air grew colder, and an unnatural darkness enveloped the path. Their lanterns flickered, casting long, twisting shadows on the stone walls. Then, a figure emerged from the mist, a cloaked guardian with hollow eyes. You seek the Whispering Caverns, he rasped, but only those who can answer the riddles of time may pass. He posed 3 riddles, each more perplexing than the last. Lara, with her knowledge of ancient texts, deciphered the answers just in time. The guardian stepped aside, allowing them to pass through a narrow crevice that led into the heart of the mountain. Inside, the air shimmered with an ethereal glow. Crystals embedded in the walls pulsed with an otherworldly energy. The whispers, now clearer than ever, spoke in a language long forgotten. At the cavern's center stood an altar with a golden hourglass. Samuel gasped. The sands of time. It's real. Ethan approached cautiously, As he touched the hourglass, visions flooded his mind. Ancient civilizations, forgotten kings, and a war that threatened to unravel time itself. The caverns were not just a resting place for lost knowledge, they were a gateway to the past. Suddenly, the ground trembled. The shadows coiled and twisted, forming monstrous shapes. A deep voice echoed, "You have disturbed the balance." The cavern began to collapse. Ethan grabbed the hourglass, feeling its power surge through him. "We have to get out." As they sprinted toward the exit, the shadows clawed at them. Tobias swung his torch, dispersing the darkness, while Lara deciphered ancient symbols on the walls, searching for a way to seal the gateway. Samuel found an inscription: "Return the sands to the altar, and the past shall remain untouched." With seconds to spare, Ethan turned the hourglass, letting the golden sands flow back. Leora sat beneath the Dreamkeeper, the shadows listening to the steady rhythm of its breath, and the cavern stabilized. A sound so soft as they emerged into the daylight of the night. The entrance to the cavern sealed itself behind them, was alive again, protecting its secrets once more, floating like mist back in the branches. Ethan placed the map of the earth beneath her fingertips and sighed, the weight in her chest lifting. Yet even as peace returned to the forest, a lingering question remained in her heart. If the Dreamkeeper had been carrying the world's dreams for centuries, what would happen now that it had finally fallen into slumber? Who would cradle the dreams of the sleeping world? As she pondered this, a soft rustling came from the canopy above. She looked up just in time to see a flock of tiny silver-winged creatures flitting through the branches, their movements delicate as moonlight on water. They were the dream moths, creatures of myth, said to carry dreams from the tree into the hearts of those who slumbered. Leora watched in wonder as they moved, their wings shimmering like spun stardust. But something was wrong. They fluttered erratically, confused, disoriented. Without the Dreamkeeper's song to guide them, they had lost their way. A deep ache settled in her heart. She couldn't let the world drift into dreamlessness. She closed her eyes, listening once more, not just to the grove, but to something deeper, something beyond. And then she heard it. It wasn't the song of the Dreamkeeper, nor the melody of the wind. It was the quiet pulse of the world itself, a rhythm as old as the stars, a lullaby that had existed long before words, before time, before dreams had ever been given shape. Leora took a deep breath, feeling the melody within her bones, and then she began to hum. At first the sound was barely audible, like the whisper of a breeze between the trees. But slowly, steadily, her voice grew, weaving through the air like the golden strands of a tapestry. She sang of the river's journey, of the way the stars kissed the lake at midnight. She sang of the warmth of a mother's embrace, of the way the earth sighed with the first breath of morning. She sang of soft pillows, of cozy blankets, of fireflies dancing in the moonlight. She sang of sleep. And as she did, the dream moths stilled, their frantic movements slowing. One by one, they turned toward her, their silver wings quivering, their tiny eyes gleaming like dew-kissed pearls. Then, with a sound like the gentle rustling of leaves, they lifted into the sky, their wings carrying her song with them. They soared high above the grove, their tiny forms dissolving into a mist of golden light, drifting toward the village and beyond, carrying dreams once more. Leora exhaled softly, watching them disappear into the horizon. But her journey was not yet over. The Dreamkeeper had given so much of itself for centuries. It deserved a rest, but the world would always need dreams. would always need the gentle hush of sleep to cradle its weary souls. And so, Leora made her decision. She turned back toward the tree and knelt beside it, pressing her palm against its rough bark. "I will sing for you," she whispered. "I will carry the dreams, just as you have done for so long." The tree trembled slightly, as if acknowledging her words, and a deep warmth bloomed within her chest, a quiet magic settling into her bones. She understood now. She had become the new dreamkeeper.